All right, we showed you this earlier, but it really is startling and shows you exactly what is happening in our region. See that smoke just billowing out of northern Idaho, out of Oregon, and even up in Montana, and just swirling into northern Utah and western Utah. It's startling, but it helps those of us in northern Utah understand this dramatic shift this morning from haze to dense smoke that is so easy to smell even. Tooele went from yellow to purple in 2 hours. Purple, basically we've never seen that. Salt Lake hit the highest particulate reading so far this year, and PurpleAir.com sensors have shown the worst of this is from Farmington to Payson, at least in terms of what we can see on those sensors. But someone who knows better than I do about this is joining us for our in-depth interview, Ashley Sumner from the Department of Environmental Quality. Ashley, I was introducing that stuff about what we're seeing and smelling in the air right now. Anything you want to hit on, anything you want to correct?
No, that's all accurate. The areas that are really experiencing this and being hit the hardest are along the Wasatch Front and in those areas of Salt Lake, Davis, Utah, and Tooele counties. But we expect as this persists that the entire state is probably going to get some smoke.
That is the difference, isn't it, between when we have this bad air from smoke compared to the particulates that we're used to in the winter, is that it's not about a bowl in a valley. And so people who live in places where usually the air is pristine can get it just as bad.
Yeah, we're seeing poor air quality or high air concentration readings in the Uinta Basin and areas that, you're right, we usually don't see that inversion air quality. The valley isn't playing so much of a factor, but we are seeing it pretty much everywhere.
Talk about the significance as people are sitting at home and they're thinking about what their plans are for today. You know, it's Friday night. Maybe there are plans to do something with the kids outside or something like that. When you see readings as high as they are, at least along the central Wasatch Front right now, what would you tell folks?
I would tell folks to really stay inside as much as possible. This is an exceptionally poor air quality day. We do expect it to improve a little bit tomorrow to maybe downgrade to that orange or unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if people can just really try to stay inside as much as possible today and this evening, we do see that it might improve, although we are recommending people stay inside as much as possible until we see this breakup, which might be as early as Tuesday.
And when we're looking at this, it feels like we're seeing this shift. We have some cleaner fuels. We have some cleaner cars. We have less. We've had fewer red air days. In fact, I don't think we had any this past winter, or at least this calendar year in the winter time. Is summer now our particulate season?
You know, it's hard to say. I mean, we still do have particulate issues, and inversion season is still very much a thing. But this is certainly, you know, it truly depends on the weather patterns and the way the wind is blowing about how much this is going to impact us. We have seen, like you said, cleaner vehicles. Industry has made a big impact in reducing the amount of emissions. And so in the winter, our wintertime air quality has been improving over the past 10 to 20 years, as much as 40%. So summer is still continuing to be a really big concern for air quality.
And usually the summer problem is ozone. And you were mentioning to me before the interview here that we need to be aware this is a double problem, right? Right now we do have ozone as well.
Right. This is what we call a dual pollution event. So we're seeing high levels of ozone that are created by, you know, obviously the sun and those emissions. So we are seeing high levels of ozone pollution, and we're also seeing the PM2.5, which makes it especially important for people to take care of themselves, their health, and really avoid outdoor exertion and avoid being outdoors as much as possible.
You know, I wonder if the conversations that you're in on at the higher levels of the Department of Environmental Quality about how to think about these kinds of issues. We can think about doing individual things to change ozone and to change the inversion smog, but smoke is is regional and in some sense global because of climate issues and drought issues. How does the state, do you talk to neighboring states? Do you need to expand out to figure out how to address something like this?
You know, it is really difficult because right now we are experiencing smoke from other states. And it is a nationwide discussion about how to address the concern of wildfires. We're really focused on in Utah is what we can do, encouraging people to drive less, use cleaner vehicles, working with industry to use cleaner technology, and focusing on what we can control within our state while having those partnerships throughout the country.
We're out of time, but I think I do want to get some things people can do. You check your air filter in your home system. Maybe change that out to make sure your air is getting good filtration inside your house. If you have an air purifier, those kinds of things, run it. Anything else that you want people to know before we say goodbye?
Yeah. The Salt Lake County Health Department just put out some really good guidelines, including checking those filters, buying an indoor air purifier if possible. If you do have a window AC, try to make it so it's not doing fresh air intake. Use recirculating air. Same thing when you're in your car. Make sure you have a clean filter and avoid using that recirculating air. And then if everybody can drive less today and throughout the weekend as we're experiencing this, that'll make an impact on air quality as well.
All right. Ashley Sumner, it's an important conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time.